all around the world, what am I doing here, wrong? Is it done wrong? So they live all around the world. They've lived in North Africa, South America, and Mexico before settling in Elliott and purchasing Bond Garden Farm. They now raise polled Hereford cattle commercially. They sell them commercially, along with the many other critters that they have on their farm. They raise in excess or harvest in excess of 10,000 bales of hay a year, of which Dana and Anna has been the lucky recipients of throwing those bales. So they are true farmers. Paul's career has been in the high-tech arena. He started several successful companies over the years. He's sort of a what you might call a adventure junkie, I guess. He loves scuba diving. He's run the Boston Marathon for the past 20 years. And he has climbed the tallest peaks in Europe, Australia, Africa, and Antarctica. And so as an example, in 2005, on Paul and Helen's 30th wedding anniversary, Paul and his son Peter headed to Antarctica to climb Mount Vincent at 16,000-foot peak. Helen wanted to go on the expedition to begin with, and she wanted to stay at the base camp. She was not going to climb the mountain, but she wanted to go with him and stay at the base camp. But then she decided, then I looked into it and I saw that it would be pure misery. So she chose to stay in Elliott and follow them on the internet. Helen did tell me that Paul did send an email and called her on the anniversary. Paul, you're such a romantic. Helen has dedicated her life to many fields, and most notably in education. She's involved in a lot of civic organizations, board of directors of the Seacoast Rep. She's on the council of the Trinity Lutheran Church in Newington and on the Elliott Historical Society. Helen is a published author. The first book that she co-wrote with her father, The Hand of Fate, in 1999, which her father's name is George Gerson, that details his survival of the Holocaust. Her second and most recent book, The Views of Rosemary Hill, from Rosemary Hill, chronicles the history of the Bartlett family in and around the Elliott region for over 100 years. As far as conservation goes, the two of them here are just unmatched. Their farm, Bond Garden, which is in Elliott, is about 130 acres in size, and 100 acres of those are under conservation easement through the Great Works Regional Land Trust. The Gorensons also donated a 27-acre property on Route 236, which is has a tributary to the Sturgeon Creek. They created the Gorenson Farmland Trust Fund, which is run by the Great Works Regional Land Trust, for bridging upfront costs in the early stages of land conservation. Those of you who are not aware of this, the early funding really saves these projects. Those are do-or-die situations, and these folks have stepped forward as far as that goes. They started the Bond Garden Challenge, which was a matching grant fund for the conservation of Russellwood, which is a Johnson dairy farm in Kittery and Elliott, Maine. In 2006, they helped close the funding gap for the Panish easement, which the Conservancy is involved in Milton, which was critical in saving matching federal grants. They provided a bridge loan to secure additional time until we could secure federal funding for an easement on 70 acres in Durham. Without this, the easement would not have been completed. In 2008, they purchased a 128-acre parcel of waterfront on Union Meadows in Wakefield, which was under danger of being developed, and they placed it under conservation easement through the Conservancy and the town of Wakefield. They recently purchased two 250-acre parcels in Brookfield, which is under future conservation consideration. The Gorensons, I'm really pleased to say, have been steadfast supporters of this organization for many years. It is clear from everything that I've mentioned tonight that, and it doesn't come close, I'm sure I've missed a lot of it, that Paul and Helen not only talk the talk, but they walk the walk when it comes to being good stewards of the land. So it's with my great pleasure to present the 2013 Ashton Halla Conservation Award to Paul and Helen Gorenson.